Hello YouTube, there's loads of videos on here on YouTube or online about how to maintain and replace various parts of your Geberit concealed wall hung WC or toilet. But there aren't any videos showing how to actually remove this bit from the frame. I guess the reason for that is because you should never have to remove the cistern and the workings from the frame itself. However, it's always good to know how to do things like this, because when it comes to doing certain types of installation that aren't, the approved installation or in the installation documents, you sometimes need to do stuff like this. Anyway, I'll show you in my case why I needed to do it, because the instructions say that you can either have studs that go down the side and then fix into those studs via these provided brackets. So what these do is they go over here and they fix on top of the frame and into the side studs. And as you can see, if you didn't have this great big thing here, which is necessary for other purposes in this case, then this would be possible. But as you can see, even if I put studs down between here and here, that would not be possible because this is in the way. And the idea is that you would fix into the top of the frame through these holes using the provided tech screws. The holes that are in the frame are a little bit too small for the tech screws, so they kind of drive themselves really nicely and tight. And that's perfect. However, that wasn't possible here because that would get in the way. There's other kind of ways of installing, going back to the, sorry, just to be clear, the toilet is actually in here, and this is which way round it is, and that's the toilets coming out here. So that's the other side is the back where I was before. And the other methods of fixing, they provide you with these kind of brackety things here that go through here, and then you'd fix onto a back wall. We don't have that option here, it's a stud wall. Anyway, so what I needed to do was to fix down through the top into the holes. Unfortunately, the holes, as I say, they're a little shy of 6mm, which meant that when you put an M6 screw or bolt rather through the holes, it didn't work. So I had to widen those bolts, those holes out a little bit, just so that they're a tiny bit more than 6mm, which I did with one of those conical metal drill bits that kind of makes things bigger as you go through it. So mine's a stepped version, so I was confident I wouldn't get too big. Also, the holes are here, and this one did not have a hole, so I had to use a metal punch and punched a hole there. And the reason being is that you couldn't, in this one that's closest, you couldn't get a washer or even the nut into there because it's too close to this part of the frame. Anyway, I kind of did a similar thing here, except I punched a kind of a third hole there. The other hole's kind of like about here. Anyway, that's the reason that sometimes you have to do these custom things. But the reason I had to take the cistern part out was because the cistern kind of concealed my ability to actually do these things up from underneath. My idea is that these Geberit systems, the wall hung systems are, you should never ever need to replace this frame. So it doesn't really matter if I, put it in for good in such a way that you can never get the frame out, because the frame is never going to break, is it? Let's be honest, it's this thing that's going to break, all the internal workings of it. So the question is then, how do I get this off? And it was actually a little bit harrowing, because you've got these clips, these black clips on the side, and they have retaining push parts. And these ones go into these holes, and basically I started pushing these little kind of butterfly shaped things inwards, and then I kind of thought maybe if I push gently it'll kind of go back against something and then I'll be able to pull the whole lot off. Unfortunately they didn't, they just kept pushing in. I thought, uh-oh, I'm never going to get it out again, because if you look all the way around, there's no kind of way of getting it out. And I thought, oh no, there's some metal work inside here, it'll get caught in here, I'll never get them out, and it'll be gone for good. Anyway, this video is to assure you that if you just keep pushing into here, obviously with these clips on, the whole lot's attached, if you keep pushing, eventually they go beep, and they drop down all the way to the bottom. You can see inside that black thing on the left is actually where the clips dropped, and they make a satisfying kind of dropping noise as well, so you know each one's gone. So you go push, 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 push. It doesn't work, you get something bigger to push in with. In my case, I used this thing because a screwdriver just didn't kind of go all the way in, and I just push, 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 and then suddenly you hear like a tick, 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 like that, and so you hear it drop, and then did the second one, heard it drop, and then I did that, those two, heard them both drop, and that was most excellent. You've also got these, so there, I can't show you them because they're in there, I haven't got them out yet, but you've also got these little bits. Now these bits go in, can you see this kind of lattice arrangement here? These things go in there, and I don't really know if I needed to take them out, to be absolutely honest. But what I did was, let's pretend they're already in there, is I got a screwdriver and I poked them out through this way. You can get a screwdriver into that. I can't really show it here, but you can just about get that in. Oh, sorry, no, it's not from this side. It's actually not, oh dear. It's not from the lattice holes. Actually, it's from this side that it comes. Yeah, and so you can get a screwdriver in there and push that out. And as I say, I don't really know if that's necessary, but I did anyway. And sure enough, they just came out, and they come out into your hand. So that's fine. They won't ever get lost into anything. So you've got those bits, and then you've got these bits, and these bits were the kind of the harrowing part of it. Anyway, all you do is you push them in, and then I took these sidey bits out as well. And then what I did, let's just pop this back here. I pop this back around here so it goes in the way that it came out. So we're looking at the back of it now currently. That kind of goes into here. Oh, I've forgotten which one it goes into now. Does it go into the front one or the back one? I think it's the front one. Anyway, I'm sure we can look at that later. And then once that's there, these kind of, yeah, what you do is then you shove a really big screwdriver into here and into here, and you just slowly turn and lever and just pull gently out using these top and bottom bits here and here. I hope I'm explaining it clearly, but that is how to remove the cistern from the Geberit frame. Hope that helps somebody.